Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my today's video. It is based on morphology. My dear friends, morphology is one of the branches of linguistics. Linguistics is a scientific study of any language. Linguistics has many branches such as phonology, morphology, syntax, graphology. In phonology, as we all know, we study the sound production and sound transmission. It is only human being who has a language. It is only human being who has all kinds of speech organs set in his body, and with the help of these speech organs, human can produce various kinds of speech sounds. In syntax, we study the word, how the sentences are structured, while in graphology, we study how the sentences are written. That means writing is studied in graphology. But our today's topic is morphology. My dear friends, any language is based on words. If the language doesn't have words, the language cannot progress. And morphology is nothing but the scientific study of the smallest grammatical units of a language and their formation into words. The words have also structure like phrases and clauses. And morphology studies how the words are formed, what are their grammatical functions, such as noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and suffixes and prefixes. In phonology, as we all know, phoneme is considered as the smallest sound unit. For example, p, a, such as in morphology, we consider morpheme is the smallest grammatical unit. Traditionally, word was treated as the smallest unit, but the modern linguist treated morpheme as the smallest unit. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit form in a given language. Morpheme is the smallest part into which the words can be divided. Word is made up of one or more morphemes. For example, let us see the example. Very simple example we are taking here. Play is a word made up of one morpheme, but player is made up of two morphemes, that is play and er. Similarly, the words are made up of 3, 4, 5 morphemes also. For example, unfaithfulness, enthusiastically. In unfaithfulness, we have 4 morphemes: unfaithfulness. In enthusiastically, again we have 3, 4 morphemes. Words which is made up of one morpheme are called as monomorphic words. Mono means one. For example, boy, child, right, blue, happy, etc. Means there are lakhs of words which are made up of one morpheme. While the words which made up of more than one morpheme are called as polymorphic words. Poly means more. For example, we are taking the same examples which are shown in the monomorphic category. Boy, it becomes boyish. Child, childhood. Right, writing. Blue, bluish. Happy, happily. Means in boy and ish there are two morphemes. Childhood, there are two morphemes. Writing, write and ing. Blue and ish. Happy and ly. These are two morphemes. Let us see the classification of morphemes. Morphemes can be classified into two categories: free morphemes and bound morphemes. Bound morphemes are again categorized under three different categories: prefixes, infix, and suffix. All prefixes are derivational, and the prefixes can be class maintaining or class changing. And in suffixes are of two kinds: inflectional suffix, derivational suffix. And derivational suffix, again, just like derivational prefixes, either they are class maintaining or class changing. Let us see what is free morpheme. A free morpheme can stand alone as an independent word. Means free morphemes, they do not need to have any help of a bound morpheme. It is a word with a meaning. It has its own meaning. Free morphemes can be used freely as words having their own specific meaning. For example, pen, paper, bag, happy, fast, bottle, table, boy. Bound morpheme. Bound morphemes cannot stand alone as a meaningful word of its own. Bound morphemes, they need support of other morpheme, and that other morpheme is nothing but the free morpheme, because free morpheme can stand alone as a word, free word, but bound morpheme without the help of free morphemes cannot have any kind of word meaning. For example, morphemes like un, dis, re, less, ing, full, ness, ly, and meant, etc. There are many, these are just for example. For example, there is a word beautiful. In this word, beauty is a free morpheme, while ful, full, is a bound morpheme. If you remove beauty and from full, beauty has a meaning without the help of full, because beauty is a free morpheme, but full, being a bound morpheme, it doesn't have its own meaning alone. Free morpheme is called as a stem, while the bound morpheme is attached to some other form, it is called as an affix. Words are made up of either of a single morpheme or a free morpheme, or with bound morpheme or free morpheme. Means there can be one free morpheme, there can be one free morpheme, one bound morpheme. There can be two, three bound morphemes and one free morpheme. There can be free morpheme, such way. Simple word, for example, book, sister, these are single free morphemes. Complex word, for example, happily, unluckily, unemployment, means we have one morpheme and we have more than one bound morphemes. Compound words, for example, tablecloth, notepad, tube light, watchman, tax free, sun cap, etc. There are two or more free morphemes. My dear friends, in complex word we have free morpheme and bound morpheme. In compound word we have two free morphemes, two or three free morphemes are coming together. A bound morpheme is attached to some other form, and that is called as an affix. And the form which the affix is attached is called as a stem. For example, dishonest consists of two units, dis and honest. Here dis is an affix and honest is a stem. Sometimes stem may consist another stem and affix. For example, meaningful. In this, meaning is a stem and full is an affix. Then meaning consists of stem, mean, and affix ing. But we cannot further divide the stem mean, and the stem which cannot be further divided is called as root. All affixes are bound morphemes. Affixes are of three types. Prefix. An affix which is attached to the beginning of a stem or a root is called as a prefix. For example, disconnect. In this, dis is a prefix and connect is a root. Prefixes are always derivational. All prefixes are derivational. Derivational in the sense to form new word. All prefixes, they form new word, they derive new word, and that is why all prefixes are derivational. Prefixes can be either class changing or class maintaining. If the grammatical class of a stem is changed after attaching a prefix, it is called as class changing prefix. If the grammatical class of the stem remains same after attaching the prefix, it is called as maintaining. Class maintaining prefixes. For example, these are for example, there is a this is a big list in English. For example, unable, it becomes unable. Able is adjective, unable is also adjective. Reproduce, produces verb, reproduces also verb. Disconnect, connect is verb, disconnect is also verb. Market, noun. Supermarket, noun. Pilot, noun. Co-pilot, noun. Means these prefixes, they maintain the class. Now the examples of class changing prefixes. D, thorn. Thorn is noun, dethorn becomes verb. Able, that is adjective, and if we attach en, it becomes enable, and that is verb. Power, that is noun, and when you use m, it becomes empower, verb. Courage is noun, and but encourage is verb. Suffix, a suffix that is attached at the end of the stem or the root is called as suffix. For example, worker. Work is a root and er is a suffix. Suffixes are marked with a hyphen at the beginning. Suffixes are up to two categories: inflectional suffixes, derivational suffixes. Inflectional suffixes are the suffixes we use to inflect the word. They do not form new word. For example, if we attach yes to the word girl, it becomes girls. By adding the new word, it doesn't form the new word, but it just changes the number. That means from one girl, it becomes many girls. Inflectional suffixes are occur with the noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. For example, with noun, plural for making plural or for making possessive. For example, verb for the present tense, for present tense third person singular verb, if this